Hello everyone, my name is Pris from Pris Peruses and welcome to another video. Today I am giving you my recommendations for the Wacky Witches Readaton. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave all the information linked down below in the description. Wacky Witches Readaton is my own readathon that I'm hosting in the week of October 10th. The premise is to enter my witch shop and purchase some items by reading. I will go to each and every single prompt that I can do recommendations for and give you 2 book recommendations. Now, some of these books might be witchy, some of them might be in other genres. I have tried to do a little bit of a mix of some of my favorite books, but also some books that I talk less about but still really enjoyed. These are all books that I would recommend. These are all books that I have read myself. So yeah, let's dive into some recommendations, shall we? Now, first of all, we are gonna do some recommendations for the bundles that you can purchase at Wacky Witches. And first up, we have the bundles of potions. For your basic bundle of potions, you need to read a book with fire in the title or cover. Let me tell you, this was the hardest prompt for me to look for. I could not, for the life of me, find anything, but I managed it eventually. So the first book with fire in the title I am recommending to you, With the Fire on High by Elizabeth Acevedo. This is fantastic. This is about a teen mom and her struggles. She loves to cook. There is so much food in this story and it's just a great read, a really quick read, a really fun read. The main character, Imoni, is just a darling. The audiobook is fantastic. And will you look at the naked hardcover for this, because come on, you can also use this for beautiful cover because it's just fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I read this book when it just came out and I really enjoyed myself, so this is your first recommendation. For the next one, I am slightly cheating. No, I'm not, you will see. The second one I am recommending to you is Ember in the Ashes. Because Ember is fire. It is fire, so it counts. So if you have anything that says an ember, or like maybe a sparkle, or a glimmer, take it, you know, just take it. It's supposed to be fun and I am not gonna check up on you, so just take it. And Ember in the Ashes is one of my all-time favorite YA series. It is just so fantastic. It's all about this girl called Leia. Her brother is arrested and she joins the rebels to set her brother free. But in order to gain the trust from the rebels, she needs to go on this undercover task. And then on the other hand, we have Elias, who is the most prominent warrior at this military academy, but he wants to leave. He wants to do something else with his life. Also, this book has the character of Helene, which is Elias's best friend, and Helene is just chef's kiss. She's amazing, she's badass, and this series just all in all incredible. So there you have it. For the second prompt is your deluxe bundle of potions, which you need to read a book that is all about revenge. Now, the very first book that I thought of when I set this prompt revenge was Iron Widow. I just had to recommend this to you because this is all about a girl taking revenge for her sister's death, her sister's murder. And oh boy, the emotions in this are so hard-hitting. They are incredible. I thought this was absolutely brilliant. I can shout about the rooftops from this every single time. I just cannot wait to see where this series goes. It is just so good. It is an Asian-inspired world where women are not treated very good. And it's just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing. And it definitely fits your prompt of revenge. What also fits your prompt of revenge is the Jade City series. This is also an Asian-inspired world that wields jade. The Green Bones wield jade. There are 2 clans at war with each other. This is all about family and loyalty to family and taking revenge for things that happen to your family. And oh my gosh, guys, the series is incredible. Jade City was amazing. Then Jade War blew my mind out of the waters. And Jade Legacy had me into a million pieces shattered. I don't think I still have recovered from that yet. It is one of the my favorite series I read this year. This was so incredibly good. Definitely fits your prompt of revenge. Now, for your basic set of candles, you need to read a book mostly at night. I can't recommend any books for you. You can pick whatever you like, whatever you're in the mood for, so that's really easy. For the deluxe prompt, however, you need to read a book with a moon or stars or stars on the cover or in the title. My first recommendation for this is Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. If you can see that on the tapestry, there are some celestial elements in there. I really love this. This is inspired by Mulan. This is about a girl called Maya. She goes to the royal palace to enter this competition to become the tailor for the empress, and she joins in this competition as a boy. She dresses up as a boy. Because girls are not allowed to do so. So she dresses up as a boy and she enters this competition. She has this deadly secret with her, and also this really hard competition. This was absolutely fantastic. I loved every single element of this, and it's great. Then the second recommendation I have for you is a middle grade, and that is Where the Mountain Meets the Moon. This is also Asian inspired. I don't know what's up with me, but I just really like Asian inspired books. This is very fairy tale-esque. This is about a girl from a very poor family, and she wants to go and meet the old man of the moon to make her family rich. If she finds him, he will grant her one wish, and her wish is for her family to have money. And along the way she finds dragons and all sorts of creatures and people who will help her with her quest. And the ending was absolutely brilliant. It was so sweet. It was so lovely, and this is just a highly underrated middle grade in my opinion. So this is your chance to pick it up. Then we are moving on to crystals. For your basic bundle of crystals, you need to pick up a book that you think has a beautiful cover. I cannot recommend books for you because we all find different things are beautiful. So pick a book that you find beautiful and read it for this prompt. However, for your deluxe bundle, you'll need to read a book with a foiled cover, and I can recommend you 2 books for that. The very first one is The Invisible Life of Eddie LaRue. Is anyone surprised that this book is on this recommendation list? I had to, guys. I had to. Because it's my readathon. So if you want to read my favorite book of all time, this is it. I have shouted about this many times, so I'm not gonna do it again. But this is about Addie. She makes a deal with the devil and he tricks her, and she is forgotten by everyone. This makes her life very difficult until she comes across Henry, who suddenly remembers her. This turns her world upside down. This book is very special to me. I absolutely love it with the whole of my being, and if you have not picked it up yet, I think you should do so in this week. The second book that I want to talk about is a series that I love dearly, but I don't talk about it enough, and that is Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. The Life Ship Trader series, guys, is absolutely sensational. I don't necessarily care all that much for Fitz in the Elderling, but the Life Ship Traders, this was just blew my mind out of the waters. These characters are absolutely spectacular. The ships that come to life are absolutely magnificent. And this is just a series that will immerse you in such a rich world, and it's just amazing. It has some foiled elements on the cover, so it counts. It is a chunker, I agree with that. So if you want to go all out in the week, pick up a Ship of Magic. Then we are coming to the herbs. For your basic bundle of herbs, you need to pick up a book with a green or mostly green cover. My first recommendation for this is another middle grade, and that is Orion Lost. This is a sci-fi middle grade, and there are not enough sci-fi middle grades out there. This was absolutely spectacular. A bunch of kids coming together, and they have to work with an IA that is very suspicious. They have to work together, and they do not necessarily like each other all that much. This was just so great. I thought the ending was absolutely brilliant. There was some twists and turns that I did not see coming. So all in all, it's just a really fun read. And it is a middle grade, so you will fly through this. It's perfect for a readathon. The second book with a green cover is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. Oh my gosh, I think this is my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book up to date. This made me sob like no tomorrow. This is about Evelyn Hugo, and if you read this book, you will be shocked that Evelyn Hugo is not a real person. Because I was almost in that state that I wanted to Google Evelyn Hugo and be shocked that she does not exist. This book is so realistic. Evelyn Hugo in this world is a very famous actress, and she's always been very private. She's had 7 husbands. It's time for her to tell her whole life's tale. Oh my gosh, this was absolutely brilliant. I loved this with the whole of my being. This destroyed me in many ways. I sobbed like crazy. This is incredible. For your deluxe bundle of herbs, you need to read a book about nature. And first up, I want to recommend A Rainbow Grey by Laura Ella Anderson. This has all to do about the weather and weather magic. Ray Gray, she lives in the Weatherlands, but she does not have magic of her own. That is until she goes to a forbidden quest to Earth, and things happen from there. This is absolutely brilliant, guys. It is so cute. Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin is an actual character in this. It was so lovely to see him in book form. And it's a wacky, fun read. You will finish it really quick. So perfect for a readathon. The second book about nature I want to recommend to you is The Nature of Witches. You can also pick this for witches or beautiful cover, because hello, it's stunning. Even the naked hardcover, I think we all noticed by now that this naked hardcover is absolutely beautiful. This is all about elemental magic. In this world we have different kind of witches that are tied to a season. However, the main character Clara is not tied to any season. She's an ever witch, so she is not tied to any of the seasons and can perform her magic in any season. This makes her very powerful. She is a little bit scared of her powers. This has a school setting as well, so absolutely brilliant. And your perfect recommendation for nature. Then we go on to the second prize list of Wacky Witches. And first we have tarot cards, which I cannot give you any recommendations for because people will have put their own tarot cards in there. You can also, if you don't have your own tarot deck, use a tarot generator on the internet. There are many options for you there. On to the next prompt is for the Cauldron, and in order to get a Cauldron you need to read a book that is mostly black on the cover. The first book I want to recommend for black cover is The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. Oh my gosh, this is a love letter to New York in itself. This is one of the most unique books I've ever read. It is so strange, but in a good way. This is all about New York, all about the different districts in New York, but these districts like the Bronx and Long Island, there are actually people, and it's just so strange. They have to come together to save New York from this ominous thing that is lurking here in the water. This is one of the most unique books I've ever read. I've never ever read anything like this. The audiobook for this is sensationally good. So yeah, a great recommendation for a black cover. My next recommendation for a black cover is My Dark Vanessa. Oh my gosh, guys. This is very uncomfortable to read. I will give you straight off the bat, this has so many trigger warnings because this is about a underage girl that has a relationship with her teacher. You will see this through flashbacks, and you will see her in her adulthood coping with the fact with what happened to her. This is very, very dark and twisted. I felt very uncomfortable reading this. There were points in the story that I wanted to put it down, but it is such a great and important read because things like this happen. The gaslighting happens. It was a phenomenal read, so I do really recommend it. For the next prompt is your wand, and I think everyone would love to have a wand. In order to purchase a wand, you need to read a book that features magic. Well, it shouldn't be that hard. I have 2 recommendations for you. The first one is A Pinch of Magic by Michelle Harrison. This is all about 3 sisters that live on an island. They cannot leave because of a family curse. They have 3 very special magical objects. They come together to try and destroy this curse so they can leave this gloomy island that has kept them prisoner for so long. Absolutely fantastic. These sisters are everything. Charlie especially is everything. And it's just a really great fun read. The other recommendation for magic is The Bear and the Nightingale, also known as the Winter Night trilogy. This is one of my favorite books of all time. This is all about Vassia. She has a knack for the old ways. She can see the old spirits looming. There is a very dark and twisted priest coming to their town, and he boasts about this new religion, and he turns everyone against the old ways, and there is dark things looming in the forest, and the atmosphere in this book is absolutely mind-blowing, so crazy, based on Slavic Russian folklore. Absolutely fantastic. So magical. Then we have come to the witch's hat. In order for you to get a witch's hat, you need to read a book about witches. Well, fancy that. The first one I want to recommend is a book that I very recently read, and that is A Wild is the Witch by Rachel Griffin. This is so good, guys. I gave this 5 stars. I even like this more than A Nature of Witches by the same author. Absolutely fantastic. This is about a girl called Iris, and she runs a animal refugee, a wildlife refugee, where she uses her magic to calm the animals. Are you fucking serious? This has so many great elements. This could also work for nature. It has so many animals in them. It is just absolutely mind-blowing. The atmosphere in this was really fantastic. And it's just all in all a fantastic read. The second recommendation for witches is my favorite witchy book ever. Once and Future Witches by Alex E. Harrow. I had to recommend this because I need more people to read this book because it is incredible. This is all about 3 sisters who are descended from witches, and they wanna bring witchcraft back into the world to make the voices of women heard. Spectacular, guys. It is so good. The audiobook is fantastic. I have talked about this many times. I cannot stress this enough. This book is absolutely mind-blowing to me. It will make you feel all the feels. Do pick it up. Then we have your very own broomstick. Who wouldn't like a broomstick? I mean, look at that. That's fabulous, isn't it? Who doesn't want to have her own broomstick? Well, I got loads in stock for you guys, so that's good. And in order to purchase your very own broomstick, you need to read a book with mythical creatures in it. And the very first book I want to recommend for that is Starfell. I've also talked about this book many times. It has all the wacky creatures in it, so it definitely counts. This is about Willow. She has a knack of finding things, but it's not a very flashy power, so she's often laughed about. But then last Tuesday goes missing, and she needs to find it in order to save the world. This series is incredible. I talked about it many times. It is so much fun. It is Nevermore meets Wizard of Wands. I love it with all of my heart, and you need to pick it up. The second book for mythical creatures is a tome. So if you want to go like all out, if you maybe want to like focus on just one book, you can do this, okay? Well, I've seen people read this in 24 hours, so you know, it's easy. I am recommending to you Priory of the Orange Tree. So for the people who want to go all out during this week, for the people who are a little bit crazy like me, you can read Priory of the Orange Tree because it has dragons and it's a phenomenal epic high fantasy. We all know that the prequel comes out next year, so it's the perfect time to sink your teeth into this, and it's an experience. I also recommend the audiobook, and it's a wild, wild ride. Then the very, very last prompt, and that is your very own spell book. In order to purchase your spell book, you need to read a book about books, and don't we love those books? My very first recommendation for a book about books is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. I've also talked about this many times, one of my favorite books. I absolutely love this. This is about Zachary. He finds a book in the library, and when he reads this book, it describes his own past life. There are details in this book that nobody knows except Zachary himself. So he goes on a quest to find out what the hell is happening, and he finds himself lost in the Starless Sea. This is so incredibly good. It's not for everyone. It's very lyrical, dramatic, magical, whimsical, and you will find yourself asking more than once, what the hell am I reading? But I love that about this book. So yeah, I recommend this. Then the very last book on this recommendations list, a book about books, and that is The Unlikely Escape of Uriah Heep. This was really good, guys. I read this not too long ago. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. This is about book characters that come to life within the books. They escape, they plot things, there are good and bad characters. It is just really good, guys. And there's these two brothers that do not necessarily have the closest bond, but they need to work together in order to save the world from these bad characters. And it was such a fun ride reading this and seeing all the book characters come to life. Definitely recommend this. There you have it. That was it. Those were all my recommendations for Wacky Witches. Oh my gosh, I talked about so many books. Are there any books on this list that you are gonna pick up during the week? Let me know down below in the comments. Do let me know, have you read any of these? What were your thoughts on them? Let me know down below. I would love to chat with you a little bit in the comments. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I am gonna leave you for now, but I will hopefully be back soon with another video. Bye bye!